Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report for the 12th of January. So like most markets or indices around the world, we've been from the COVID low here in the March, we've been looking for 5 waves up into these highs here, and we're getting pretty close. Now, not all markets finished nicely at tops. This would also be in line with the Australian dollar as well, this whole move up here. So keep an eye on the Australian dollar wave count as well here. So it still appears that this little patch in here is corrective, and we should see further highs come into play. But I wouldn't expect too much of highs to come into play because if we look at BHP, for example, we're counting this move up through here. So this can also be from wave 4 here up to wave 5 top here, with wave 1 sitting over here as well. But counting 5 waves up through here, all my labeling came back yesterday. It disappeared on this new charting program, so they're still sorting out bugs and things, I guess. But from this wave 4 here, we're looking for 5 waves up here, 1 and 2. I was thinking 3 and 4 and 5 here, but we do need to be careful. So the 48 would probably be more of a realistic target, as mentioned yesterday. So we're close to a top in this space here, so this is why we need to be careful. It may drift a little bit higher. If we look at New York BHP, the ADR, the same thing here as well, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then 1 and 2, and I was looking for 3, 4 and 5. So overnight it was down here, cementing that 4th wave there, and looking for one more high. But we just need to be careful. We're very close to a top here, and this is also in line with banks as well. So with CBA here, a slightly different count, but from this particular low of 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4, that can also be counted differently. We could also put wave 1 here and 2 here, and then look at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. But still end up with the 3rd wave here, so it doesn't matter. And wave 4 here, and we're not really seeing a lot of sort of push to the upside here in this case. So I would suggest taking profit or getting to break even in these trades to the upside. But once again, 1 and 2 here, and 3 and 4 and 5. So a little bit more to go here, but I wouldn't expect it to go too far at this stage unless we can see the only other way that this can count up here, which I'll just clean these up. The only other way I can see this sort of happening here is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So basically up for 1 here, back for 2 here, and then up for 3, 4 and 5. Now that would sort of make sense, but we just need to be mindful that it can drop after this little structure here for this. Okay, so we'll need to gather some more evidence for that. Like I said, tops and bottoms don't always end the way that you would like them to end, or in line. Normally it's the leading stocks or the leading markets or the leading sectors that that will top and turn and then crush the others as in that space. So yeah, so with that in mind, we'll just have a quick look at iron ore, and where's iron ore here? So we were looking for wave 4 to pull back here, so I just want to go into... So I don't know if wave 4 is going to be an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. So that's pulled up to the 61.8% roughly. So we may have a move down through here, or we could actually even go long above that top there. So we're either going to push up there, or we're going to push down here first, and then work it to the upside at that point. I'll just go in and have a closer look, maybe the hourly chart, what we're looking at. See, it's possible to call that down as an A and a B and a C here, and then this is an impulse wave here. It looks quite good as an impulse wave, actually. I mean, a bit dodgy in here, but the 3rd wave here looks good. 4th wave's okay, 5th wave's okay, and it started in, it's pulling back to the 50-60% retracement level here. This looks rather corrective rather than bearish. So that's good. So just keep an eye on that. If that continues higher through here, then that will take the BHPs higher. And if it goes higher here, that means it's going to go higher up into this space up here somewhere. So just keep an eye on that. I'll just have a look at copper too. Copper's down overnight as expected. So we're looking for, from wave 4 here, we're looking for a move up. Or really the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then the corrective move here. So we'll keep a bit of an eye on this as well. Not a very good 5 waves here, but probably gets in there. But still, we can pretty much move that in there at this point. Just checking. I won't go into the bigger picture. We went to the bigger picture yesterday, but we can have a top in play here, so we just need to be a bit careful. Otherwise, we're going to see some type of, we've either got a top and we're going to come way down, or we're going to see some sort of corrective move and then move up at that point. So, because this whole move up here can be counted as an A and a B and a C wave up here, finishing on this top here. Or up for 1 and back for 2, then up for 1 and back for 2. So we need to work through that. But yeah, any copper trades in that sort of sector, and this is a time to be mindful of that. So yeah, I don't need to have a look at the Australian dollar. You can just look at that on our website as such. So just keep an eye on that. We've got 2 possible counts for that. We can have a top in for the Australian dollar, or we can have wave 4 being in play at the moment. So it's not quite helpful, but just keep an eye on it. Even if you don't trade it and you're trading this market, it will be helpful. So this move, all this move in here, as I mentioned before, is bullish corrective. So we should see a move higher here. That's what we should see. Let's just go to the 4-hour chart. So this is how I've had it here. We've got that low on here, but I haven't really paid much attention to that. If we have a look at the, this is the cash market, so a 4-hour chart as well. So we can look at this here as the A wave, the B wave, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the C wave coming onto this low here. So this one here, this low over here, hasn't really breached it. Excuse me. So this here is a corrective pattern here. Yes, we can have these lows in here. We've got these nice lows on the bottom here, which is nice. And then we've got this sort of impulse wave to the upside. But it also could be looked at an A, B, and C wave for here for the A wave, and then an A and a B and a C here for the B wave, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 coming down here for the C wave here of wave 4, and then pushing up. So we need a bit of tactics here. We can go long above this high here, which is probably unlikely today because markets are soft. So more likely to see downside. So we're just going to go in and have a look at that. But I just wanted to point out that that low is above that low here. So it makes it okay as wave 1 and wave 2, then wave 1 and wave 2 perhaps. But I don't think that's the case. So I'm not quite sure. So we can view this here like this, or we can put wave B over here for this, and then looking for, copy this as wave C to come down here. So a 5-wave structure to come down into this space. I'll just draw this out here, coming back into here, 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 and here, and then having that 5th wave up there. It's a bit hard to call that 5th wave on that top there because it really hasn't made a new high. So yeah, this leg taking out the bottom here is a concern. It's hard to call that in, so it's probably better off calling, or actually it should be charted like this here. So an A, B, C here for the A wave, then an A wave, and then a B wave, and then a C wave here for the B wave, and then down for 1, back for 2 here into that 61.8%, and then down for 3, 4, and 5 here, and then moving up at that point. If we're going to go long here, it does appear that we could look at this here as wave 1 here, and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 and 5. Then an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave coming into this space. I wouldn't expect too much out of this. And then dropping from that point. But from that high to that low, that top there is the 61.8%. So if that level there becomes the support, which is group 1, so we've got 700 and we've got 10, 20 and 30. So if you get a classic trading levels pattern sitting on top of group 1, which would normally be a long trade anyway, then you can look to build into long and just keep building on that side of it. But you'd need that as support. So that's the trigger at that point there. Otherwise, we're going to see further downside. And if we are going to see further downside, there's 2 ways we can look at it. First of all, from this low here, we could see it come down as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave to that point, and then move off from that there. So that would be the trap. So that's what you need to watch out for. I was thinking about shorting it under this space here, but if you're going to short it, you would have to short it further higher at least. So I'm just going to remove that at this stage. I think we need to stay on the long side in a way. Probably good just idea to keep an eye on the S&P 500 as well. So with the S&P 500, if you consider 3,800, the line in the sand for the S&P 500, if the 3,800 becomes the retested resistance, then you can short the Australian market. But it's currently trading just above that, the 3,800. So it's a bit difficult to short at this stage. Right, I'll leave it at that, I think. Let's just go back and rebrief this a little bit. So on the 4-hour chart, there's a good case that the A, B, C can be in place here, but having this little extra low in here is just on the futures market, not on the cash market. So it's possible to look at this as up for 1 and back for 2, and then up for 1 and back for 2 here. So it is possible for this market to have an A and a B and a C wave down to here and then push up from that point. So we need to be mindful of that. We can go long on top of 30 here, and of course we can also go long on here as well. So that 30, that should be a little bit lower than that actually. Well, anywhere above that second high there, we've had a little push there. We should have another little push up there. So yeah, look, this market just hasn't been not good to us. I mean, take a look at it. I mean, it's just been a nightmare, you know. BHP's been running nicely. CBA's been quite toppy, and so on. Yeah, a little bit of movement in the banks to the upside, especially with ANZ as well. That's moved up nicely. So look, let's just see how this plays out. But yeah, 67.30 as support creates the longs, and also taking out the top creates the longs. I don't particularly want to short this unless the S&P finds the 3,800 as the retested resistance, and then you can look to short that. And if you're going to short that, let's go back to the hourly chart here. Then possibly taking this low. You'd want to get into it early. You don't want to short it down here because you'll be on the 50-60% retracement level where all the support is here. So you really need to short that like early in the piece rather than later. So under the current low there would be the go. But how far it gets you, I'm not that sure. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Cheers.